How to protect your plants when you get a severe winter vortex.
It is challenging when you get such a wide variation in temperatures. Here in the greenhouse, it'll drop down to -3 at night without any heat and up to 80 or even higher in the day. And it's only 20 degrees outside.
Extreme gardening. What do you think? An Olympic sport?
In zone 9, we've got Bruce. 36 degrees overnight. Cardboard boxes, totes, floor mats. In zone 8, we've got Mike and Linda. 12 degrees. Painter's cloth, totes, leaves. In zone 7, you've got me. -3 degrees up to 20 degrees, 3 and 4 days in a row. Plastic sheeting, screens, bags of leaves, hay, totes. On your mark, get set, go! And the way this race plays out, you just have to wait. You wait for the weather to change. Sometimes this race is a sprint, just overnight. Sometimes it's a marathon, week or two. There's a couple things we want to keep in mind when we're trying to protect our winter plants. Obviously, it's where we're at, how cold it's going to be, what kind of plants we're trying to protect, how cold hardy are they, what the material is you have to work with. Now, we could really tint it up and we could put some kind of electric heating system inside there. And to my mind, electricity and inclement weather don't really mix. You got to worry about where the plug is, you got to worry about whether you're going to get it wet, you're going to short it out, you're going to do some damage to your electrical system. I have heard tell some people are pretty successful just using a 100-watt light bulb inside of their protective covers. And for me, running extension cords across a deep mulch just doesn't seem safe. If you're expecting it to get extremely cold for a very long time, the more mass you have, the better insulating properties you have. And I like to use clear plastic, that way I don't have to worry about uncovering it. And I like the fact that the sun is heating up those mini greenhouses. The more insulation you have, the better chance you are to weather the storm, pun intended. I found using the deep mulch keeps your ground from freezing. The tighter your plants are to the ground, the more warmth they're going to maintain. Bruce has quite a few cold hardy plants doing very well in his garden. But the eggplants and the tomatoes, they don't like that 36 degrees. And his tropical trees definitely don't like it that cold. But while we wait for the sprint to happen, what do? Well, you cook, of course. Bruce, this is awesome. We're very happy you made it through the cold weather, and hopefully there won't be any more this winter. Where Bruce finished his sprint down in Florida, Mike and Linda came in second, but they had much colder for much longer, and a lot more. But you can see their tall leafy stuff took it pretty bad. Most everything else came through great. Mike, that is wonderful. Over the last week, we've explored what's happened in my garden, and the champion in my garden is the spinach. It doesn't care if it's cold or not. Kale is doing really well too.
Like our kale here, this is doing just fine.
And I think what I've learned this year is depending on how cold it gets and what kind of plants you're using, is just exactly what you're using to cover them with. Short term, you can use just about anything that has any kind of insulating properties. The colder it gets and the longer you're going to be covered, you're going to need to have some light in there. Whether you're using a frost cloth, insulated packing blankets, just sheet plastic, a painter's drop cloth, cardboard box, they all provide a benefit.
The spinach and the beets each have a tote over them, and then a cover of plastic, and then some insulation around them. That seems to be a pretty good combination, even in the length of the cold that we've had.
The more insulation you can get up around your raised beds, 1 or 2 layers of plastic on top, the more successful you're going to be. But at some point, it may get too cold for too long to be successful with anything. The beautiful tall Swiss chard that took the worst beating, those plants are still alive, but I took that top layer off. We've concentrated this down a little bit. Hopefully that'll hold the heat in there a little better. We'll see in a couple days. Since I started sharing this journey, every Saturday's been dedicated to you and what's going on in your garden. We're going to continue that, but Saturdays we're going to also highlight something in the garden. And today, with the help of some of our contributors, we've taken a look at how to protect your garden in the winter. Until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.